Hi there, this is Simone Denny, and I am making my debut on Toronto Mic.
What up, Mike? Toronto. VK on the beat. Check. I'm in Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto like we wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love.
Welcome to episode 1848 of Toronto Mic'd, an award-winning podcast proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery. Order online at greatlakesbeer.com for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. Visit palmapasta.com for more. Fusion Corp's own Nick Iones. He's the host of Building Toronto Skyline and Building Success, two podcasts that you ought to listen to. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. And Ridley Funeral Home. Pillars of the community since 1921. Joining me today, making her Toronto Mic'd debut, it's Simone Denny. Great to meet you.
Great to meet you too.
What an absolute privilege. I was at an event for the 30th anniversary of Electric Circus.
Ah, okay.
So I was too intimidated by you to go up and say hello.
Oh, come on.
But, you know, I did. Moses was there.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Did you get a hug from Moses?
I did.
I'll bet you did, Simone.
He's great.
Now, Monica Diol was there.
Yes.
And of course, what's his name? George Lagaganis?
Lagaganis, I believe.
What? I was going to butcher that. And you were there.
Yes, I was there. It was a great night.
Yeah. It was a great night.
Yeah.
Again, too intimidated to approach you, but at some point I mustered up, well, you're Simone Denny. I don't know if you know that or not.
Oh my gosh.
That's a key detail.
I'm Simone.
You're Simone, okay.
Yes.
I want to congratulate you off the top because I understand you're receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yes.
From the Canadian Black Screen Awards.
Yes.
Well, congrats.
Thank you. Feels good.
So tell me, this is happening this weekend?
Yes, there's actually, this is going to be a great 2 weeks. There's one this weekend, and I'm getting a Career Highlights Award from Women in Music Canada as well. That's on March 5th. So it's a
big time to be Simone.
It's a big time to be Simone. It's
you're getting your flowers.
Honored. I am.
Okay, well, you're still young.
I love you. Thank you.
Because I was going to say, sometimes we give these flowers too late.
Yes, I agree.
Sometimes we wait till people are already shouting out Ridley Funeral Home. Like, it's very important that you and you're still in your prime here getting your flowers.
Yeah, definitely.
So. And you're a Toronto girl, right?
Oh, yeah. Toronto born and raised.
What neighborhood in Toronto were you raised in?
Well, there's three. I was born in downtown Toronto, Bloor and Yonge, and then my parents lived at Laird and Eglinton, and then we moved to Don Mills and Sheppard, and then they moved to Scarberia. When Kennedy Road was a dirt road. Like, once you hit Sheppard and Kennedy, it was a dirt road after that. So it was lots of farms and new developments. It was like a lot of farms. I could tell you pretty much everything was in that area.
Well, you know, it's not Scarborough. I'm not allowed to call it Scarberia because I'm from I'm from west of Yonge.
Okay.
But you can call it that. But I always tell my kids, like, where Canada's Wonderland is, I'm like, this was just empty, vast. There was no developments there. We had drive-in theaters.
That's right.
It was nothing. Yeah.
That's right.
And now it's
whole other Toronto now.
Now Toronto just keeps going. Like, it just keeps going.
Yeah. You're like, when I come downtown and I'm like, what intersection is this? It looks completely different from anything I've remembered. It's amazing.
It is. It's wild how this city is growing.
That's a perfect word. It's wild.
It's wild. Okay. And you mentioned Scarborough because you were living there for a period. Are you still live in Scarborough or no?
I am in and out of Scarborough. Still in Toronto, but I go back and forth.
Back and forth. Okay.
Yes.
You know who else is from Scarborough?
Who?
Maestro Fresh Wes.
That's right. Maestro's family for me.
Okay, tell me about that, because I'm pointing to my 12-inch single.
Nice. I see it. That's great.
Okay, I bought that in '89.
Amazing.
And I'm a big Maestro fan. Everybody knows this. But tell me about your relationship with Maestro Fresh Wes.
Wow. Well, my relationship with Maestro goes all the way back before we were born. Excuse me, because our parents knew each other from Guyana. They were friends all the way back there. The families knew each other from then. So this is a relationship that was predestined. So it's
like when you're taking me back, you're taking me way
back. Our families are very good friends. So it's pretty much family at this point. So yeah.
So when in your life do you realize I have a great voice, I should just sing? Like, when do you get the bug to be a performer?
You know, that music found me, I always say. I come from a family that's about school and degrees, and it's doctor, lawyer. That's the family that I was from. They're like, you want to sing? Why? So it kind of crept on me at a talent show I was doing for School Spirit in Scarborough, and I sang Anne Murray's "You Needed Me" because that was a big track then, and I was learning it on guitar because I was taking guitar lessons actually. And my mom heard me singing it and playing it. She's like, why don't you do that for the talent show? Because there's a little backstory here. Yeah. We were going to do Michael Jackson's Rock With You, and it was going to be 5 of me and my friends. And we got to the stage door for the audition, and they all bailed on me.
Wow. Oh,
and I was like, really? Now? Really? So I went back, and my teacher played You Needed Me on the piano for me, went up, and had no idea what to expect. I just wanted to be involved, and I got a standing ovation, and that was the moment.
Well, two things happened. A, you realized I'm good at this.
Yeah.
And B, you got the bug. That's pretty thrilling to be on stage and have a crowd kind
It was amazing.
Celebrating you.
It was amazing. I think it's because I was an only child, and you like attention, right?
Listen, I'm going to be your armchair amateur psychiatrist here. Okay. I'll tell you what's going on. But did you ever meet Anne Murray and tell her that story?
I have not. I have been at the Junos when she's there, but I've never actually had a chance to meet her. And I would love to meet her and tell her that.
Have you won a Juno?
I did. I actually have 4 Junos.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. From all the different projects that I've been involved with, I've always won Junos from my vocals. So it's been amazing.
Now, where would you keep your Junos? Do you have like a trophy case? Where would I find these 4 Junos?
I have them all over. Wherever they work with the decor of the house, really.
Well, when you have 4 of them, you could spread the wealth.
Right now, I have 2 of them. I still have 2 to pick up, believe it or not. Why
are you waiting?
Because I've never really been about
a Juno, I'd pick it up the next morning.
I've never really been about the Junos. I still have billboard plaques that I have to pick up because I'm in the mentality that I got to keep going. It's like, what's next?
Yeah, like,
what's next?
What have you
what's
done
next?
for me lately?
Yeah, I never kind of dwell on what I've done. It's more like what's coming up, what's next, and I really have to pick all of that stuff.
Well, you're going to hate this conversation because I am going to be revisiting some Simone Denny greatest hits here. Now, you're going to answer a question that came up. I had a reggae artist over here named Amoy.
Yes. Okay.
She's up for her 8th Juno.
Amazing.
But she's 0 for 7. So the 8th is this. So I told her 8th time is a charm.
Definitely.
It's funny because yesterday Dave Bedini from Rio Statics was over. He's been nominated for 4 Junos, and he's never won a Juno either.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I just chatted with, who was I chatting with? Gordy Johnson from Big Sugar.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen him in
They've never won.
Ages.
Yeah, he's a busy dude.
Oh, wow.
But he was telling me he's got 0 Junos, but he's got several nominations or whatnot.
Okay.
So you actually win Junos, but here's the question that came up with Amoy, and you're going to answer it once and for all.
Okay.
When you win a Juno, they give you the trophy, right? Do you have to pay for that trophy?
You got to pay for it.
You know what?
You got to pay for it.
I said that to Amoy.
Yeah.
Because I had heard that from other artists, and she said, no way.
Yeah,
and I said, I think you do.
Yeah, you do. You do. Either it's your record company buying it for you, which ultimately you're still paying for it, either way, directly or indirectly.
Right, because the game is rigged.
Either way, it's coming out of the budget or it's coming out of your pocket.
I feel very validated here, Simone, because I was sure of that, and I was telling Amoy, and she gave me this look. Like, no way, Jose.
Unless that's changed.
I don't think it's changed.
As far as I know.
So do you remember what it cost to get the trophy? Like approximately.
I think they're between 300 and 500, somewhere around there.
if I may now, I'm going to put this on the public record. That kind of ticks me off. Like, I feel like we're recognizing Canadian. I was going to say, you're a superstar, but no, we'll save that. We'll save that, okay? But we're recognizing Canadian talent.
Yes.
The industry can't give you the award. They have to invoice you for the damn trophy. Like, does that? I mean, maybe I'm just naive. I'm just an idiot. I haven't won anything. Well, I've won something, but they didn't have a trophy to pay for.
You know, I don't know the intricacies of making that happen,
Right.
whether we would pay into something so that that's already accounted for and paid for. I don't know how they would make that work, but, you know.
Okay, because, I mean, the industry does, you know, I hate to say it. I said the game was rigged because I talked to so many Canadian musicians, and they talk about what you're describing there, which is that, like, that, you know, we had a rider for this, that, but it gets like billed back to the band, and these parties are billed back, and then the video production is billed back.
Yes.
So it's almost like record labels, they give you a loan.
That's it.
And then you got to pay it all back.
That's it.
With interest.
The artist is the last one to get paid. That is the industry.
You know, I had on, do you know the rapper Kish?
I know of him, yes.
Okay, so I was chatting with him about his album. He had an album in the early 90s. Actually, I think Maestro guests on it. It's called
I believe
Order
so.
from Chaos.
Yes, I've heard of it.
I rhymed the world in 80 days.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, I like your earrings.
Thank you.
They're it's funny.
Gigantic.
They're big, yeah.
Yeah.
You got big earrings.
Big
Can I say
hoops.
that? Can I say that?
That's right.
But Kish was telling me, because I had Order from Chaos on CD. I overpaid, I don't know, paid $17.99 for it at Sam the Record Man or something. And I was spinning it. I would see him all the time on Much Music. There was a couple of hits on that album. And then I just said, hey, so what did you make from Order from Chaos? And he's like, I don't know, he's like $16.95 or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what, like, it was Starbucks money.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem right.
It is the way the industry is. And especially I think in Canada, you should be driving a Rolls Royce, but you're taking the bus. You know, that's so true. That's Canada right now. I don't think we have the infrastructure, or maybe it's developing now. I'm sure it's much different than it was when I was coming up with BKS and Love Inc. But it, you know, I think there is still that's happening where you've got this great album, you're marketed everywhere, and it's like, hey, isn't that, you know,
But everyone gets rich but the artist.
Yes. We don't have a big population here, which is why everybody has to leave Canada in order to tour or to make money. It's unfortunate. And I don't think we have, it's still very much a rock and roll country. So there's not a lot of venues to play. You know, so I think with the growth of the population in the country, that will come. Maybe not in our lifetime, but down the line, I'm sure.
Oh, let's hope so. Let's hope so. And I think even just talking about it is helpful because I know I was completely ignorant.
Okay.
Because what do I know? I just think, I'm hearing them on. I'll date you here. Like I'm hearing you on 680 CFTR, and I see you on Much Music.
Yeah.
And I own your CD, which I overpaid for because that's what we did with CDs.
That's right.
So I just assume you're driving the Rolls Royce, like you said, and then the guest. I'll invite the person over, and they will pull up. Like they'll walk from the bus stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Canadian star system.
That is. I think we don't have a star system. I think it's developing. It's getting there, but it's definitely needed. A solid star system.
Let me drop a couple of Canadian star names on you here. Deborah Cox.
Yes.
How do you know Deborah Cox?
I know Deborah Cox way back. We both auditioned for a band when we were probably about 15 or 16. We also had a girl group together called One Voice. She's Guyanese, I'm Guyanese background. So, you know, and we ended up, that's pretty much it. And then we ended up, I went to Humber College for music for about 6 months. She was there as well. We were all classmates. And my vocal teacher at the time, Joyce Britton, put me up for an audition for Mama I Wanna Sing, which is a huge musical out of the US, and I told them all about it. They all jumped on and auditioned, and we were all in the musical together as well. So there's a lot of history there. And then I think it kind of came full circle when she was at the top of the charts and I was at the top of the charts here in Canada, and we both did a performance at the Junos together. One performance segued into the next. So
Wow, so it all begins with Mama, I Want to Sing.
Well, a little bit before that.
Oh, before that, right.
No. You know
that's
what?
like the
Actually,
big
yeah,
Canadian
a
production.
little bit before that, yeah.
Okay, and we've already talked about how you were like, connected to Maestro before you were born.
Yes.
Which breaks my brain to even think about that, okay?
Yeah.
But you also did, sing with Maestro, right? Like, can you?
I did.
Which tracks? I'm a big Maestro guy. I owned all the CDs. Like, which tracks were you performing backing vocals on?
The most famous one would be Conducting Things.
Just because I'm from Canada don't mean I'm no amateur.
Of course.
Wow.
Yeah, Conducting Things would be and I'm in the video too.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm one of the girls in the background. I guess it would be like the Supremes.
Yeah.
I'm the tallest one. So if you pull up that video, you'll see me there.
And there's something to be said about the first single from the follow-up to your breakthrough. So if you follow that trend. So if you think Sympathy, Symphony in Effect is the breakthrough for Maestro back in it's 89. I like how he tells you it's 89. So you know what year it is. I like that. Thank you, Maestro. But you got Symphony in Effect and then the follow-up, and that's the lead single. So there was a lot of, like, for us fans, there was a lot of anticipation for that first single that's going to drop from the new album, and you're all over it.
Yeah, I've sung on quite a few. I've sung on some of his children's album as well and some other projects he's done. So, I'm always happy to jump on a project with Maestro because he's just a great person, and I love supporting whatever he's doing. He and his family, and DJ Mel Boogie is his sister as well. So, there's a long history between our families, and it's a pleasure.
And now he's on a stamp.
Yes, he is. I was supposed to be there and I couldn't make it. But I was at his induction into the Music Hall of Fame. So, I beam with so much happiness and pride for him.
Love it. Love to hear it. Now, Simone, you're now an FOTM. That means friend of Toronto Mic'd. Okay. You're in not only is Maestro in that club, you should be honored.
I'm honored.
I got gifts coming your way. I won't even charge you, unlike the Junos.
Okay.
I'm going to give you presents, and I'm not going to send you an invoice.
All right, I'll take
these gifts.
I'll take it.
A fellow FOTM is Chuck D from Public Enemy.
Oh, nice.
And Chuck famously tells us, most of my heroes don't appear on no stamps.
That's
and
right.
I think that's an American thing now, buddy, because we got Mishi Me and Maestro Fresh West on our stamps.
That's right.
So, Chuck, we got to revise that for Canada.
Absolutely. Oh, I was, like I said, just really happy to see both and all of them inducted that way.
Quebec,
very
I
cool.
hate to say it, I don't follow the Quebec scene as closely as I should, and I don't know about this Quebec hip hop group, Mouzone. Do you know? Because
I'm not as tapped into.
Quebec. We're gonna plead ignorance because I think it's in French, and I think they have their own
of course,
star system,
of course,
channel over there. But yeah, so 3 stamps were issued: Maestro, Mishi, and this Quebec Mouzone.
Fantastic.
I think they're called. So I said I was gonna give you gifts. I'm gonna do this real quick because then I got to ask you about somebody who's been the subject of much chatter on this podcast recently. But let me tell you, Simone.
Yes.
In my freezer upstairs, I have a large frozen lasagna from Palma Pasta that you're taking home with you. Do you like Italian food?
Love it. Love it. Love it. Absolutely.
Good. I'm worried sometimes I ask that question and I sit back and they go, I'm lactose intolerant. And then I'm like, well, it's got a lot of cheese in it. Is that bad?
Is that a bad thing? No, never. You can never have too much cheese, ever.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. So you'll love it. Thank you to Palma Pasta for sending that over. Pasta. Also, I have, it's actually in front of you, courtesy of Great Lakes Brewery. Today is the 39th birthday of Great Lakes Brewery. So they became a brewery 39 years ago today. And they sent over some fresh craft beer for you.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm not invoicing you for any of this.
I appreciate that.
And Simone, because we're about to get into it here, I have a measuring tape for you courtesy of Ridley Funeral Home.
Thank you. All right. These are gifts I can use.
You can, you never know. I think it was Tara Sloan who told me she doesn't leave home without a Ridley Funeral Home measuring tape because you always got to measure something.
I can admit that I do have a measuring tape in my bag when I travel.
Now you got a backup.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. And I want to let people know the Ridley Funeral Home podcast that we recorded a fresh episode of yesterday is called Life's Undertaking with Brad Jones. So subscribe and listen to Life's Undertaking. I co-host that. And while you're subscribing to interesting podcasts, subscribe to Building Toronto Skyline with Nick Iones. He's from Fusion Corp, and he stepped up to help fuel this real talk. So we love Nick Iones for doing that. And last but not least, I want to let you know, Simone, about recyclemyelectronics.ca. If you have an old laptop, maybe an old phone, old cables, and you're thinking, oh, like, I don't need this anymore, don't throw it in the garbage. Go to recyclemyelectronics.ca, put in your postal code, and find out where you can drop it off to be properly recycled. Got it?
Got it.
All right, good. We're good. Tell me when you met DJ Chris Sheppard.
Oh, wow. Long story short, I had been doing a lot of session work. That's what we did back in the day as vocalists. You wanted to be seen and heard and make your way up. You did a lot of demo sessions for producers and writers. They had heard about me. Through Anthony Vanderberg, I believe, who I had done a session for. And I think the track I did with him ended up doing really well. And they wanted a big voice.
Yeah.
And I went in, I remember it was just off of Leslie Street, Leslie New York Mills, to Greg Kavanaugh's studio. And I got in there. They had a studio basement at the time. I had heard of Chris Sheppard. I kind of knew what he did. But they were like, oh, scream, yell, do this, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Didn't make sense to me at the time, but I did it as soulfully as they needed, and it worked, and that was Dreamcatcher.
Okay, so is this BKS? Is this the project?
This is BKS, yeah.
Okay, I'm playing something in the background here.
With you, what you gonna do? Loving you, loving. Yep.
I should
Big
bring it down and
tune.
let you sing it.
Big
It's
tune.
a banger. It's a
Big
great one. I've been
tune.
playing it all week.
Massive track.
So you're not a full-time member of BKS though, right? You're like,
No.
if they just parachute you in when they need that beautiful big voice.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
And so the reason Chris Sheppard's been talked about quite a bit in this podcast recently is because TVO,
Okay.
on January 6th, TV Ontario aired a 60-minute documentary about CFNY,
Oh,
the
nice.
spirit of radio.
Okay.
You can go to like TVO Doc's YouTube channel and watch it tonight if you want.
Yeah,
So-
I'd love to check it out.
and a huge part of the spirit of radio, which is basically the time at CFNY when David Marsden is there. That's essentially that's the era we're talking about. But a huge star there. Well, listen to this. Hold on.
Loving you, loving, I'm in love with you. What you gonna do? Loving you, loving.
Wow.
Loving
Okay.
you, loving.
But a huge star at CFNY is Chris Sheppard.
That's right.
And Chris Sheppard is doing like live, like I guess they were live to airs before Martin
That's
Street
right.
had that gig. It was Chris Sheppard, and you know, he kind of talked like this.
Yeah. Crazy.
Crazy man,
City of
crazy.
Love.
God, we're listening to some skinny puppy in the mix.
What's the color of your sky tonight? All of it.
All right, so what made it interesting is that Chris Sheppard does not appear in this documentary. You got
No.
some archival footage, but the filmmaker, I talked to the director because I tried to find Chris Sheppard for Toronto Mic'd because I want to talk to
Okay.
Chris Sheppard. I struck out,
Okay.
but the filmmakers, the people behind the documentary, CFNY, The Spirit of Radio, they also struck out.
Mm-hmm.
So before we move on, because you do quite a bit of work with Chris Sheppard, but when was the last time you talked to Chris Sheppard?
Well, I have not talked to Chris Sheppard since I left the group in 2001.
You mean Love Inc.?
Well, actually, no. A little bit after that. Probably 2000, end of 2001 into 2002. That was the last time I spoke to Chris.
Okay, so maybe we'll get back to Chris now as I read between the lines.
Sure.
Because I thought maybe... No, okay, so we're going to get back to Chris Sheppard. But you're being parachuted in. BKS is I'm a Much Music viewer. Like, there's a lot of BKS on Much Music. It was a big deal, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was all over the radio.
So why weren't you a full-time member? They just kinda...
Well, I actually became a full-time member, but I was young and I should have said, you know what, feature my voice, like put featuring Simone Denny. That really should have been, I didn't have a manager really at the time, so you're young, you don't know, you're just eager to get in there. And it is what it is. But my voice was well known. My name became well known on the radio because people were like, Simone Denny. And I think a lot of people also assumed the S was me. So
yeah.
a lot of people thought,
What did BKS
BKS
stand for?
BKS. It's Becker, Kavanaugh, Sheppard.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, well, thank goodness they called it BK. It sounds like an accounting firm.
exactly.
Or it's
That
a
is
law
true.
firm or something.
That is true.
Okay, BKS, and you're on tonight. It's party time. I can't
with
take
Barry
the heartbreak.
Harris, yeah.
Barry Harris has been over here.
Oh, he's the best. I love Barry. He's such a good guy. Love him.
I'm a big fan myself, but we
Yes.
talked that big the Con-Can. Yeah, because it's the opposite of Can-Con. I
Yeah.
always have to remind
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
It's Con-Can.
Yeah.
But they're everywhere as well.
He did some massive tracks. So, yeah.
And he remixed that Whitney Houston song, too. Cause,
You know, and I really feel that he should be getting a star on the Walk of Fame for that. Just for that alone. That was one of the biggest remixes in history. Yeah. You know, and I think that's I don't think that there are enough acknowledgements of what Canadians have accomplished. And, you know, and I think the stars need to the Walk of Fame needs to reflect that. And that's not me slamming the Walk of Fame. I'm just saying there's a lot of people, you know, that have made big steps so that everybody can fly.
do you think there's this Canadian tendency to not really fully appreciate someone's talents until the Americans tell us they're actually good?
That's right. And I think we have to stop that culture. But at the same time, Barry was in the States.
Yes.
Barry's, that remix was worldwide. You know, I was in the States. We were all of us have done there. You know, so I think, you know, that track, it's not right, but it's okay. Yeah. My God, you can hear that anywhere in the world. I travel and I hear it, and I'm like,
but it's okay.
Oh my God! And people immediately start dancing. Yeah. It's evokes emotion instantly.
We were using it as the opening theme. We have a sub-series on Toronto Mike, which is called FOTM Cast, which is very meta. But we were using that as the opening theme because of Barry Harris's, because he's an FOTM and because of his involvement there.
Yeah, as it should be.
You're getting me all riled up here because I'm now thinking of all the great Canadian musicians. I'm looking at, Sloan and Junkhouse and Magically Hip and all these bands I love, right?
Yeah.
Because I love rock, I love hip-hop.
Groundbreakers.
Yeah, but they all kind of took a shot at being American stars and for whatever reason came back here because they didn't succeed in becoming American stars. And I'm here to tell you, Simone.
Yes.
I don't care if the Americans embrace you.
Oh.
Not you personally. I mean, just the Canadian music industry.
Yeah, I agree.
Money's not everything.
It's not just money. I think we have been culturally geared towards measuring our success by whether American acknowledgement. Yeah. I think that has to change. I think that we have many artists that are doing well globally, and we have to acknowledge that. They've gone beyond the shores of Canada and they're doing well. That's important.
Even a show like Schitt's Creek, for example. We just lost Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
Tragic, terrible.
Very much
Did you ever meet Catherine O'Hara?
I did not meet Catherine. But I think we've all felt like Catherine was a friend because we've been so proud of her for all the things she has done and accomplished and represented. She's always been Canadian.
She's a Toronto girl.
Oh, absolutely.
Much like yourself. Here.
Absolutely.
But it did seem to me like we didn't really fully embrace Schitt's Creek until the Americans said, hey, this is a great show. We're going to give it a whole bunch of Emmys.
You know what? I can say that I was into it before that. So I didn't really wait for the American nod. Not to slam my American friends. I didn't wait for the American nod. No. But, a great show is a great show. I'd been hearing about it from everyone. So...
All right, so BKS with Chris Sheppard.
Mm-hmm.
Sheppard's next project is called Love Inc.
Mm-hmm.
It's Brad Damon, it's Chris Sheppard, and it's you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give us a little, how did Love Inc. come to be, and why Love Inc. when there's BKS? I'm just curious for the real talk on this one.
Well, I think the real talk is that, that was what we did with BKS was really groundbreaking in the sense that Chris really did bring house music and dance music to Canada. And that had more of a club feel to it. And it did what it needed to do. It got on national radio. It got everybody's attention. Everybody was dancing to it. And the next step, of course, is to go mainstream. And that's what Love Inc. was. So Chris disbanded BKS, and approached me and said, listen, I want to take this to the next level. And I want you to be the vocalist. And I was like, absolutely. And that's it.
Made you an offer you couldn't refuse.
That's right.
Well, let me tell you, darling, I've been high most of my life. And a dream is just a wish that a heart makes. I used to say, only things you can find in a drugstore. People used to tell me just what kind of high they were looking for.
you want to dance with me?
Oh, absolutely.
Broken Bones.
First track.
First track. Okay, so this is the first track from the first album from Love Inc.
It is.
Take me back. So we're in 1998 here, but just paint a picture for me. Like, what's going on with you, Chris, and Brad? And
Wow.
just take me back.
Well, I'll take you further back. Corey Bradshaw was a producer on the BKS albums and is actually the gentleman that conceived Broken Bones. So he is the one that put that idea together. And I guess when Chris left, he kept the idea. Corey didn't get credit for that, but he went on the Love Inc. album. And Brad and I were sitting on the ground in a studio rearranging lyrics to make it the song that it is now, because it was just a bunch of gibberish on paper and literally. And Brad and I were like, okay, this makes sense. Broken Bones, we put that chorus together, and then we went through all the different things, and we said, okay, well, this makes a chorus, this makes a bridge, this makes a verse. And that's what you're hearing. And I had the worst allergies of my life when I was recording that track. I had to over enunciate to get it to come out.
Let me see if I can hear the sniffles or something.
Nope, you can't hear a sniffle. Not one. But I was over enunciating.
You can sing.
I try.
Have you heard that? Has anyone ever told you that before?
I've heard that a couple of times.
Am I the first person to tell you?
A little bit, yeah.
Wow. So, is there radio in Canada that'll play a dance jam like this?
They're all still playing it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
it's everywhere.
Can you name, in at least GTA,
Z103. Z103 plays us religiously and relentlessly, and we're so grateful for their support all these years. Yeah.
And their HQ is really close to here, actually.
Yes.
Okay. Evanov Group, shout out. So, okay, so what about, I guess I'm now trying to figure out where I am in the world. 98. Is Energy 108 still a going concern?
Is it 103? Energy 108. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, it's 108.
Chris Sheppard left CFNY.
That's right.
And went to Energy 108.
That's right.
Scott Turner was there, and he kind of brought him over.
Yeah.
And DJ Trance and all these CFNY heads. That was Don Burns'
oh my God, that's
name.
some major history there.
Yeah, well, this is what we're doing. We got to educate the kids here. But Broken Bones. So this is a Canadian hit.
This is all Canadian, yeah. Canadian producers, all of it.
Yeah.
Vocalist, everything, writing, everything.
But I'm just building up to the jam. I'm got to dive deep into.
I know where you're
Broken
going.
Bones is a great song, okay?
I know where you're going.
Reach for the sky and hold your head up high for tonight and every night. You're a superstar, and don't you be afraid. Think of all the friends you made. Like any other night, you've got your name in lights. You're a superstar, superstar, superstar.
It right now. You're a superstar, okay? This song, it won the Juno Award for Dance Recording of the Year.
Yes, it did.
1999. But tell me how because Broken Bones, sure, great single, big hit, but You're a Superstar. Now you're in, this was everywhere.
Everywhere, literally.
So tell me what it's like when You're a Superstar is in the stratosphere. I mean, that's you.
From the back end of it, or when you're inside it, I'm not really listening to the radio. I am more focused on, I have to be so-and-so at so-and-so in such place because there's an interview. I've got to get costuming. We're with BMG at the time, so that's a big machine. So that was where my focus was making sure we were ready for the tours, things like that. I really wasn't listening to the radio.
Well, you have people to do that.
Not even. It was, it was more when you get back to Toronto and you see the reception that Toronto gives you at the Much Music Awards, you know, or at the Junos, and people are like singing it word for word. That is mind blowing for me. You know, that's when I'm like, okay, this is it. And then the video was everywhere. So it got to a point where I could not walk or go anywhere without being noticed or a mob of people. So that's when for me, that's when it became very real.
I understand from my, research that this is the first dance album by a Canadian artist to receive platinum certification for sales.
For the dance music category, yeah.
Yes, for the dance music category.
For dance, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's a breakthrough. That's big.
That's huge. That's huge
you know
because we've, in a way, between BKS and Love Inc., we've laid the groundwork for dance to be legit in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, we're going to talk a little more about Chris Sheppard now. If that's
sure.
Okay. I put a pin in it, but now I'm coming back. But I got to give him kudos right now that BKS and then Love Inc., like that's two. So, I mean, this guy was more than just a radio DJ. He's gone out and proven that, he could be part of a hit-making machine.
Well, I think, Chris knew the sound. That was the most important part. He knew what sound, where the sound needed to go from his expertise at being a DJ and just being on the radio. He knew where the songs needed to go. The producers, the writers, the singer, myself, we were really the elements that really brought it together because we had that knowledge heavily. But Chris just knew where it needed to end up. So when he could listen to it and go, not there yet, or this is a hit. That's the one. When
he would talk to you in that setting, does he use that persona? Is he talking to you like this or is he talking to you like normal?
Chris was very kind of a nervous kind of guy all the time, actually. I think he was just, there was only so much he could do. And then he really had to depend on the people like myself, the producers, the writers.
You mean the talent?
The talent to really bring it together. Like I said, he knew the end point, where it needed to go. He knew the sounds that needed to be, he'd be like, make references to different records or whatever, like the way it's done here or there, or, and that was his expertise. It wasn't the actual production. It was knowing this is great, or we got to have so-and-so remix it, or I need this put in it, or, I need it to sound like this. That was his expertise.
All right, you're comfortable right now. Simone, you look comfortable. You're enjoying yourself here.
I am.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a big question right now.
Bring it on.
Do you think Chris Sheppard gets too much credit for the success of Love Inc.?
No, I don't. I think it's a shared credit. I don't think it's one over the other. I think a lot of people really just refer to Love Inc., so they're both different. They're both different, very different sounds. Love Inc. and BKS.
Glad to hear it. No, glad to hear it. Only because he's sort of the face of this band, but he's like you said, he might be guiding it in some form,
right?
As he's in the clubs and everything, right?
Right.
But you're singing on this thing. You're helping to arrange it. You got the producers. Like that's where the music is getting made,
right?
So I just wondered if maybe like he's weighted too much in Chris Sheppard's arena when you think of what is Love Inc. and then Sheppard, but Sheppard's not.
It's funny. I've never heard it in that light. I've always heard, people just saying, "Oh, Love Inc. was amazing," and I see people online going, "Oh my God, I love that group." So I've never heard one higher than the other. I know there are devout Sheppard fans, and that's okay because, like I said, Chris did his thing. I could never and would never take that away from him.
And he was a big star,
of course.
And that's why everybody wants him on their docs. And
absolutely,
we'll find out what happened with you in 2001.
Sure.
But I can tell you that as far as my research goes, I produced a show for Humble and Fred. They were the morning show on 102.1 The Edge. And I believe an appearance by Chris Sheppard on that show in 2014 is the last recorded public appearance by Chris Sheppard.
Okay.
I'll do a little math for you. We're almost 12 years ago now.
Yeah.
Helping you out with that one.
Yeah.
So that's a long time for somebody this famous and this popular to be completely off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have any insight. You're not going to make a big announcement and he's going to come down the stairs.
Hey,
Chris!
There's no big announcements. From what I've heard, through people that I know are somewhat in touch. He is, older now. And let's just put it this way. If Chris wants to be seen and wanted to be contacted, he would make himself available. And so the fact that he is not, on the radar and he's off and he has not come back with all the requests that have been out there, I think we need to respect that he, his privacy.
Of course.
And I think that's just where it is right now. I think he's got to be in his mid-60s, maybe headed towards 70 at this point. So he's just, I think he's just in another phase of life and he just wants to chill out, and for whatever reason, maybe it's health, I don't know. And I think, we just leave him alone.
Well said, because, you have the right to disappear.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem. A lot of people expect, well, I want to see him. And I'm like, well, he doesn't want to be seen right now, or maybe he can't be seen right now. So we've just got to give him that space to do what he's got to do.
So I said as much with the director of this documentary, because he talked about how they were, they tried different leads and following up with different friends of Chris to see where is he. There's some say he's in Costa Rica, whatnot. Okay, but they couldn't find him. And then he kind of half jokingly said there was a thought at that time, maybe this documentary is searching for Sheppard. But then, as I said, and he agreed with me in this Toronto Mic'd episode, respect the man's privacy. He doesn't want to be found, because he could start up an Instagram account today and say, hey, he could be on a million podcasts tomorrow if he wanted to be heard. So respect the man's right to go off the grid and disappear, and we just hope he's okay.
That's right. I think that's the best way to do it. And remember the legacy. Remember all the music. Remember the trailblazing. Because every time you're dancing to something right now, anything dance or house music, that is Chris. So for those who know, like we know, remember that and hold on to it, because everything after that is because of what, Chris, BKS, Love Inc., from all of what we did. And there were other voices in the movement, you know what I mean? But I think pretty much that BKS and Love Inc. became the voice of the movement, literally.
I mean,
that solidified it.
That banger I just played.
Yeah.
Like that, I'll be dancing with my youngest to that tonight.
Absolutely.
Okay. So shout out to Chris Sheppard wherever you are.
That's
okay?
right.
I'm going to read this. I never do this, but I think the best way is I'm going to read what's currently on Wikipedia. I'm just going to read it. And then you're here now, Simone Denny, to tell me if this is fair, accurate, whatnot. Because you are Simone Denny. Fun fact.
Okay.
Despite the band's initial success, the 2000 follow-up album, Into the Night, was more poorly received. I think that's bad grammar. I'm just here to say, I wouldn't write it like that, is more poorly received. That's poor grammar. We got to fix that, somebody. Okay, now back to reading.
Okay.
Performing poorly on the charts and containing only one noteworthy hit single. Although the band did again win the Juno for Dance Recording of the Year at the Juno Awards of 2001, and critics praised Denny's vocals as the best thing about an otherwise weak album. In this era, Sheppard was also beginning to develop a reputation for egotism. In early 2001, Denny had to back out of a previously unannounced surprise appearance as a special guest who would perform several live songs at one of Sheppard's DJ shows at a dance club in Regina, Saskatchewan. The club canceled the show outright since it considered Denny to be the real star of the event, but Sheppard tried to use legal threats to force the club to pay him anyway. Last line, and then we're going to hear from you. The band did not release any further recordings and broke up after Into the Night, with Denny attributing the breakup to Sheppard mistreating her because he felt like he was the true creative force behind the band, even though Denny was generally considered its star.
It's a lot.
I feel like we're in court here. That's a lot. There's a lot there. I'm going to sit back.
Okay.
And we're going to hear you tell me, is that bullshit? Is that accurate? I want to hear from you.
Okay, so we'll start at the top. What was that website that was downloading music for free? Oh my God.
Napster?
Napster is the reason that our album didn't do well, because I cannot tell you the amount of fans that would bump into us and be like, "Oh my God, I love your album. I downloaded it on Napster for free." And we're like, "Great, thanks." So, and a lot of people don't realize that, of course, whether an artist gets another album or not, it always comes down to accounting. That's what, it's always money. So if there's no money coming in for that album or for whatever artist, and if you probably look at a few artists of that time, that's what happened, because Napster just pulled the rug out from under all of us. And then there was controversy happening within the group. Brad got let go. And Brad went on to write and produce for Justin Timberlake, In Sync.
Wow.
So he went on to do that. There was some turmoil in the group. I won't lie about that. What was your next question?
Can you fire is he a founding member? He's a full-time member? You can fire a.
Well, I guess you contractually, if it's not working out, he decided. We were, I think, signed to BMG via Pirate Records.
Okay.
So I guess Chris had that, and he cut him loose, and it was very difficult, very difficult.
So then the next part is I understand that. I remember this. I mean, I'm old. I remember Napster, okay? And I do know how devastating it was for artists, but I think it hurt most artists like Love Inc. Who don't have like a huge nest egg sitting there they can tap into while this all kind of sorts itself out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so having your second album underperform in the sales world can be devastating for
very much
like
so.
Love Inc.
Very much so. It was a rough time.
Do you like this second album, Into the Night? Do you think it's good?
I think there was enough singles on it to do something, but we weren't getting that chance because it wasn't getting the push the way the first album did. So again, accounting. If the record company's like, okay, well, we're doing all we can, and they're not going to invest any more in it. So you won't get that chance to tour. You won't get the push. And you can see the difference with Love Inc.'s first album. We were everywhere, literally everywhere, on every radio station, on every billboard. It was everywhere. So, that's the difference.
This goes back to our initial conversation about the game being rigged. Like they can choose to promote you or not, and it'll make or break you in 2000. But
they will not push or invest anymore if they see it's just going down the drain. It's like, well, we're pushing, but people are downloading it on Napster. What that means no money for the record company. They're not making money, so why would they continue to push?
And it's not like you can go sell out. At that year, it would be in Maple Leaf Gardens. It's not like you can go sell out Maple Leaf Gardens, because nowadays a lot of these acts are making their money on touring.
That's right. That's right.
Jeez. Okay. Now this line I did highlight it because at least it's this Wikipedia paragraph I read.
Okay.
Critics praise Denny's vocals as the best thing about an otherwise weak album. At least we got a good score there. Right?
It is correct. It is correct. That did cause a riff in the group. I'll say that.
But does that have to do with this term? And I didn't write this.
What's the term?
Egotism. Was Sheppard getting a reputation for egotism at this time?
Yeah.
Do you think that's fair?
Yeah. You know what? Egotism in the sense that, how can I put this?
Yeah.
He wanted to have the rest of us, I think, kind of submit to, I don't know how to put this word. It's nice. Not greatness, but, we weren't allowed to get more praise or notice than him. And that was very hard because I knew what my job was. My job was to be the lead vocalist, and I went out and I did my job to the 100% and beyond, so that got me a lot of love from the fans, and I knew that that's what I was there to do. So if that caused a riff, I'm like, well, what is it you want me to not sing as well, or not perform as well on stage?
You can't lose in that
I'm
situation.
like, I'm not sure what is expected at that point. So it was a little bit awkward. And same with Brad. We were just like, well, what are we supposed to do?
You can fire Brad, but you can't fire Simone Denny.
I don't think Brad should have been removed either. Brad was an integral part of those songs being the success that they were, and in a sense, removing him in a way, probably caused the second album in some way to maybe not do as well, including the Napster thing. So that was, for me personally, very difficult when Brad left, because he was like a brother to me. So it was very hard. It was very hard.
It's only going to get a little harder, but then it's going to get better here, because I do need to find out what the hell happened in Regina. So, so is Wiki suggests that you were going to be at like a Chris Sheppard DJ show, and you were going to sing songs live, but you had to pull out, and then the club says, no Simone, no show. She's the star. What happened there? Is that what happened?
I can tell you what happened. David Brady at the time was Chris Sheppard's manager. And I was already at a point where I was thinking I've got to leave. And he approached me at the last minute, just before, a few days or a week before the tour would leave. And he's like, we need to know if you're in, yes or no. And at that point, there was a lot of tension happening in the group. And I said, no, I don't think I can tour at this time, but thank you for the offer. And I think Chris legally felt that, he's like, well, and I think his words exactly were, well, I'm Love Inc. legally, and so we can go forth and do the tour. And what happened is he started to do the tours, and I think he tried to replace me with another girl who kind of looked like me but didn't sound like me. And so he started to do the tour, and each venue would call ahead to the next venue saying, Simone's not there. And the next tour and the next show and the next show would keep canceling shows. And so within about a week span, the entire tour was canceled because I wasn't there. And they had to pack it up and come home.
Yeah, they're not interested in Kirkland brand Simone Denny.
No. I mean, I don't even know who the girl is, because apparently they took her also to the UK, because it was launching off in the UK in 2003, 2002, to Top of the Pops. And when they got there with her, they were like, this is not Simone Denny. I'm sorry, we can't proceed.
So on the bright side, that must feel nice to know and hear. That you're not just an interchangeable part here.
Exactly. I was never an interchangeable part, and I don't think they realized it. I think they thought we can kind of put any black girl that sings in there and it'll work. And it's like, they found out the hard way it did not.
So that's the end, essentially.
That's
it. The end of Love Inc.
That was it.
And that's the last time you talked to
Well,
Chris
there were negotiations. We tried to negotiate, and I ultimately had to choose me, because there were many factors. I thought, as a woman in this industry, everybody was talking about it. As a woman in this industry, everybody knowing what was going on, and I go back to the group and I accept that treatment, what message am I sending as a woman in the industry to other women coming up in the industry, and also to other people in the industry who are watching me? They're like, she went back. That would have been really horrifying for me. And that was, I had to really save myself at this point.
Well, kudos to you for having the courage there to stand up for yourself.
Had to.
No, good. That's why you're being celebrated so much over the next few weeks.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It was a very difficult part in my life, because I had worked so hard to get to that success. And so to have to make that decision to walk away was heart-wrenching.
I can imagine. And just as we close the chapter on Love Inc., my condolences, because if the listeners don't know, Brad Damon passed away in 2018, and I can hear how close you guys were. Yeah,
that was another rough patch, because Brad and I were talking all the time, and we're getting ready to do new music. And so when I got the word what was happening, I was actually able, their family was very kind, and they were able to let me speak to Brad. And I sang Superstar to him over the phone while he was in his hospital bed. And he couldn't speak, but he smiled. He knew exactly, recognized my voice. He knew who was talking to him. And it's something that I will treasure. Him choking up.
No, I'm choking up.
It's something that I will treasure for the rest of my life, because I never took for granted how much Brad brought to that group and how much we had gone through together. And when, like I said, when he was let go, it was very difficult, because I missed having his camaraderie. I missed, actually, the whole group was let off one by one until it was just me left. And then Chris turned on me. at that point. And that was one of the reasons I can't stay in this. I have no one. It's just me and them on a bus, and this is not going to work. So when he passed, it was just hard. It was just really hard. I've dedicated quite a few shows to his memory at that year and beyond, and it's just rough.
Well, I just want you to know I appreciate that you're sharing, because that can't be easy to.
No, it's still not. It's still not.
I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah.
He meant a lot to you, and I can hear that you miss him. And
we had some great times. Us and the whole crew, everybody that was there was truly about the movement, and really just happy to be part of it. And it was just really hard when, one by one, for whatever reason, they were just let go. And I was like, all my friends are like gone, and I'm like, what am I doing here? It was rough.
Yeah, I'm very sorry about
That's
all
okay.
that. But maybe I'll switch gears with some
Switch gears. It's
happy,
okay.
a little
I'm
music
you.
here. You ready? Here's
Absolutely.
some music. Here you go.
All things just keep getting better. You came into my life, and my world never looked so bright. Yeah, it's true. You bring out the best in me, and now I can clearly see. Days keep getting better, nights keep getting better. Days keep getting better, nights keep getting better. It's true, it's true, it's true, true, true. When you are around, when you are around, all things just keep getting better. When you are around, when you are around, all things just keep getting better.
I was just waiting for you to sing along.
I wasn't sure if I was okay to sing.
Oh my gosh. I would bring this down and just listen to you. Are you kidding
Aw,
me?
thank
I got
you.
Simone Denny in the basement studio here. So there is life after Love Inc.
Absolutely.
Tell us what we're listening to.
We are listening to the NBC Bravo original series of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, the theme song, which I am the vocalist on. I was featured with a group called, and they're Canadian, Widelife.
All things just keep getting better. That could be the name of your memoir.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Just say acknowledgement section. Just say thanks to Toronto Mike for the
I like that.
obvious title.
I
here.
will
Okay.
remember you.
All right, so there's a lot of people right now hearing this song in their headphones, and they're like, Queer
Yeah.
Eye.
Yeah.
Wow.
Major show.
Yeah, that's a big show. That's
Yeah.
a big show. And your voice is on the theme song here. And Widelife, Widelife, I almost want to tell Widelife it should be Wildlife. Am I out to lunch there? Or?
A lot of people would call it Wildlife, but it is Widelife,
It's
because I
Widelife.
think between Ian and Rashid, they said you want to live a wide life,
Okay.
all-encompassing wide life.
So tell me about life post Love Inc. You're doing more than just this. You're doing
Wow.
more collaborations with Widelife.
Well, that was a rough year when I left Love Inc. again. I just kind of was MIA for a bit. And then I got approached by Ian and Rashid to do a track called I Don't Want You. And that climbed the Billboard charts. That was on Nervous Records. And one of the only songs that I really didn't put my name on, which was because I was like, I don't really know who these guys are and what's going on. And I was just really scared because I had just left Love Inc. and I'd been through so much. I was just like, okay, just go ahead and put it out there. No problem, whatever. Signed off on it, and it went number 1 on Billboard.
Wow.
So it was a massive track across the States on all every dance station was playing it. It was huge.
But it must have felt good to have success post Sheppard.
It was because many people in this camp literally said, well, what can she do without Chris? And I was like, I'm a vocalist. I can do a lot without Chris or BKS, truthfully, when that song hit the charts, I think it was I Don't Want You, first hit the charts.
Yep.
I did get a call from Chris asking me to come back because at the same time, Superstar was taking off in the UK. And so, the conversation, without getting into too much detail, was, basically, come back, you're just probably just doing clubs. I'm doing stadiums, and I went,
that's the egotism I read about on Wikipedia.
That's where it was kicking in. And he was not happy that I was doing well with something else. And I, at the same time, and I think I basically said was, Chris, you might not want to insult what I'm currently doing. That doesn't really give you the pathway to come back, because it lets me know you're still in that mode, and I have to decline. At that time I had to decline. I was just like, I can't go back into that again. But that's okay. Korai went on to do very well. We toured with the Fab Five. We did a video. Amazing things with Capitol Records,
Yeah, that was a big time. Queer Eye was everywhere.
It was huge.
Absolutely.
It was a massive track. And I don't think that Capitol really caught up with the success of it, because they took too long to actually release an official version. So all the radio stations across America were making up their own edited versions and playing it, and even Wendy Williams at the time, she's like, I love this song. I love this track. And so they never really put it out properly, but it went to number 2 or number 5 on Billboard, the dance chart, which I'm very proud of, and
it's another bop for you. And then you the Stereo Dynamite Sessions Volume 1, that was about 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. That's your own, and finally is just Simone Denny time.
That's right.
I'm gonna ask you, I got a song I pulled here. Okay, because I just found it interesting. So, all right. Superstar was everywhere. Mm-hmm. You still hear it everywhere. Right now, I'm just checking the time. Yep, Z103 is playing it right now. Okay.
I'm sure they are.
And by the way, one of the interesting things about pulling the songs for you from Love Inc. is which version do I pull?
Yeah.
For example, Love Inc. Okay, I decided, I want the radio edit. Okay, and I pulled it from the video. Yeah. Because that's like the quickest way for me to get like the radio edit. Yeah. But there are, on YouTube, for example, there are multiple versions of Love. So I'm guessing, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, like the streaming revenue from Spotify and YouTube and all these services, do you still get a slice of that pie?
I do.
Okay, then. Glad to hear it. Okay, but Superstar, everywhere. So I'm going to play this, and we're going to have a little chat about this.
Okay. Oh, God.
You can't escape this, Simone. It happened, okay?
You're a superstar. In a world that gives everything, don't you know that it don't mean a thing at all, for a superstar.
We'll give it another moment here.
You gotta find a rainbow, tell the world what everyone else knows. Don't let them tell you to get a life, 'cause you know you're a superstar. So reach for the sky and hold your head up high. For tonight and every night, you're a superstar.
I'm pretty good friends with Darren O'Brien, who's also known as Snow.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
He had an American. He went to number 1 in the Billboard, the U.S. Billboard for 7 weeks. Informer, 93. Mm-hmm. Then in 2019, Daddy Yankee put it out as like what's that called? Reggaeton.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is big right now because Bad Bunny is reggaeton.
Yep.
So suddenly it's everywhere. Okay. But it was a hit again.
It was.
Same song, different genre. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then I was chatting with Canadian fiddler Ashley McIsaac.
Oh, wow.
And then I was talking to Snow. I was at a private party with him, chatting him up. And I pitched to Snow's manager like a fiddle version of Informer. And I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but they were into it. They were into it.
You never know.
I think what Snow's doing in his life now, he hasn't actually released like a new song, like a new in like 2 decades. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he's got this one big song people want to hear, and he's just going to put it out in all the genres under the rainbow.
Yeah.
Was that the idea here?
This version of this song came about through my dear friend Graham Trude, who's a country artist here. And we connected because I did a song with him called Home Crowd, which is like a rock country anthem, which you'll be able to find on Spotify, I believe, and on YouTube. And we had such a good time doing that. He's like, you should do a country version of Superstar. And I was like, That's kind of interesting. I've never really thought of that. I was like,
why
let's
not?
go for
Because
it.
your vocals are the same.
Exactly.
Like, I'm listening to you, but you're not putting a twang in there.
Not at all. Not at all. And, it really shows you how universal music and songs are. And it's just about production. And so he did this version. I gave him complete control. And, this is what we sang it. I performed it out in Edmonton for Edmonton Pride. And it was, for me, fun. I just sang the original version of Superstar, and I came back out and I did the country version. People were like, huh. And it works.
Like, I'm not a big country aficionado or whatever, but if I'm going to sample some country, I'll be digging the You're a Superstar country version.
Absolutely.
I thought maybe the blame's the wrong word. That suggests there's something negative here, but it's all positive. It's all wonderful. But the person I thought might have sparked this country version of You're a Superstar, I thought it might be Tyler Shaw.
No.
Okay, because don't you way back in 2020, because that song I played is from 2024, right?
Yes.
So back in 2020 on the CBC New Year's Eve special, you perform You're a Superstar with Tyler Shaw. That must have been a country-esque version, no?
No, that was a dance version.
A dance version.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have my names? Is Tyler Shaw not a country singer?
No, Tyler.
Okay, you know what that means? I've confused him with somebody.
Yeah, he's a pop artist. He's pop.
There's got to be again, I'm going to speak to the listenership, but there's got to be like a Canadian country singer. Tyler's maybe something else. Maybe there's just too many Tylers in the music industry.
There's a lot of Tylers.
Okay, so it's not Tyler Shaw who sparks the... remind me, Shroud, what's the name of this country singer who does inspire this version?
Graham Trude.
Graham Trude.
Graham.
How do you spell that last name?
Trude.
Trued, only because I'm going to check it. Oh.
Tru... spelling it.
Trude?
Ed. Trude,
Okay.
or maybe De. Could be De. Try both.
I'll try both.
Try both.
All I know is this Trude is a pretty cool dude here. That's what I'll say.
He
here.
is. He has some great music.
Okay, so what other?
DE.
We have
Sorry,
other.
DE.
Maybe we need a reggaeton version. Of,
Oh, God.
You're a Superstar.
I don't know. It could probably be done, but I
am connected. I've never personally had a conversation with the man, but I am part of this. Like it's a paddle. It's called padel. It's like a paddle sport. Not big here at all. Nobody knows what it is here. But there's a professional league, and an owner of one of the franchises is Daddy Yankee.
Oh.
And again, I am a friend of a friend because I am a friend of Darren O'Brien, I might have some connections. We'll get a reggaeton version of You're a Superstar. Just keep riding that train because everybody loves that song.
Love it. Well, Superstar did have a bounce back. It went number one in Ireland 2022. With the Belters Only, who are some amazing producers that come out of, I believe Dublin, Ireland. They approached me. They tagged me on Instagram with a version that they had done. And I was in we did the video. We shot that in Dublin as well. And it shot within 2 days to the top of the charts, to number one in Ireland again. So...
Well, my people have good taste.
Irish, nice,
yes,
very nice.
Absolutely, my people
very
from
nice.
Dublin.
Nice, very good. I'm in Belfast all the time.
Okay, that's the dirty Protestant side.
No,
okay?
we leave it alone. I love everybody.
The troubles. Okay, I'm being told the troubles are over. So I
hope they stay that way.
Yeah,
really do.
Seriously, if you want a taste of it, go watch Dairy Girls. You ever watch the show Dairy Girls?
I've never taken the time to watch Dairy. I've been to Dairy, London Dairy. Yeah. I've been there.
Yeah, it's good. Good show.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I have to.
Did you ever watch Bridgerton?
Of course. Of course.
I make no assumptions on this show.
Oh, God, I love Bridgerton.
Not this season, I guess the previous season, the star of Bridgerton was one of the Dairy Girls.
That's right. She's still there.
She's still there.
She
made waves because she wasn't the typical body type for the sex symbol.
That's right. And I thought that was brilliant. Yeah. I thought that was brilliant.
It's about time we got our shit together.
Absolutely.
Okay? Pardon my
Get her
French,
in there.
Simone.
Get her in there. I love it.
Okay, anything to look forward to on the horizon? Like, I just want to know everything about you. Like, now we have finally, all that was past tense, right?
Yes.
Now we're in February. I nailed the R in that, right? February 2026. Important,
Yes.
Simone. You over-enunciated with your cold. Well, I have to over-enunciate because I'm a mumbler. Okay?
It's okay.
I have to focus on it. But what's next? I mean, you're just going to go get your accolades. You're going to be lauded by numerous organizations.
I'm going to enjoy the lauding. It's going to be beautiful. A lot of people say it's long overdue. And I am very grateful for the acknowledgement. It's nice to be seen and remembered for your work. I don't think there's an artist alive that wouldn't appreciate that. So I'm saying thank you to everyone and to the people who have spoken in rooms for me when I'm not present, who are like, no, Simone Denny, and so I'm very grateful for everyone who's done that.
Well, I'm looking at the promotional poster for the Canadian Black Screen Awards.
Mm-hmm.
It's Valentine's Day.
It is.
I just realized Love Inc.
Love Inc.
is the definitive Valentine's Day.
There you go. And it's on the Love Day.
And I see a Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. Mm-hmm. And I see here it says there's a red carpet.
Yes.
Do you know what you'll be wearing?
I have a couple ideas. We'll see.
Okay. You gonna wear those earrings?
Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see how it works with the outfit.
Here's how it's gonna go.
Okay.
When I see shots of you, at Brampton City Hall receiving this prestigious award, if you're wearing these earrings, I'll take that as a personal nod to me.
Okay.
It'll be like when Carol Burnett would tug on her ear. Do you know this?
Yes.
So if I see those earrings,
okay,
because they're kind of, I think those hoops are like a Simone Denny trademark.
They are. The red lipstick and the hoops, definitely.
Okay, well, we're taking a photo by Toronto Tree right after this.
Okay.
And everybody can see it in all its glory. How was this for you?
This was great. Thank you so much for having me.
Still got to pinch myself here. Shout out to the Bare Naked Ladies. Pinch me. I can't believe Simone Denny is in my my basement studio in South Etobicoke, and I felt comfortable I could ask you anything.
Of course. But you know what? You did ask me what's coming up.
Yeah, I'm still listening.
I've actually been working on some jazz projects, and I'll be working on some other music as well, more adult contemporary that can be remixed into dance. So there's many things that I never stop.
Are you collaborating with anybody you want to shout out?
Right now, I don't want to say the adult contemporary one yet till it's ready and it's dropped. But right now, collaborating with Vesuvius Music, which is James B. from Jazz FM, and Lorenzo.
I have Look People album right over there.
You go.
Here says People.
There you go. Yeah.
That's James's band.
That's
the
it.
Look People.
There you go. So I'm collaborating with James and Lorenzo. So we're working on that right now. I've been doing some shows for them around the Toronto area, which have been a lot of fun. Other than that, I'm headed back to Scotland on the end of this month to do some shows, and then of course more in the summertime as well. In the UK.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm always over there.
Do you think James B is famous?
I think so. He's Toronto famous for sure. Canada famous, I would say.
I believe there's a James B doc. That'll you mentioned
there should be.
I believed the creator of Electric Circus, Joel Goldberg, is making a James B documentary.
That's fantastic. James is awesome. He just released a film that he created, and it was amazing.
Okay, one last mind blow is that Joel Goldberg directed the video for Let Your Backbone Slide.
I was supposed to be at that video shoot, but I was doing Mama I Want to Sing, and I had to be on set, so I couldn't go to Let Your Backbone Slide. I was like, no.
But you know who was there?
Who?
Dwight Drummond.
That's right. That's right. That's right. We've all got a tie to Maestro.
I love this very much. I appreciate you making some time for me today.
I appreciate you having me on. This was great.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,848th show. Go to TorontoMike.com for all your Toronto Mike needs. This is the Zit Remedy from Degrassi Junior High.
I love it.
If you're wondering. Okay. Much love to all who made this possible. That's Great Lakes Brewery. You've got your beer.
I got my
Pasta.
beer.
Don't leave without your lasagna.
I'm not leaving without it.
Nick Iones, RecycleMyElectronics.ca, and of course Ridley Funeral Home. You've got the measuring tape. The next episode of Toronto Mic'd, as we hear the polka dot door in the background, the next episode is a Valentine's Day special where FOTMs have submitted their favorite love songs, and that's going to drop on Valentine's Day. And then we're back Tuesday for Toast at 10:30 with Rob Pruce and Bob Willett. See you all then.